Most people think the next phase of AI is about intelligence, smarter models, better answers, faster reasoning, but that's not the real shift. The real change is that software is no longer just advising humans. It's starting to act on their behalf, quietly, automatically, at scale, and once AI systems begin executing decisions, not just suggesting them, a much bigger question appears. Not about capability, but about control. For years, AI tools lived at the edge of work. They summarized emails, generated drafts, answered questions, helpful but contained. AI agents are different. They don't just analyze information. They schedule meetings, approve expenses, trigger workflows, move data between systems, interact with other software autonomously. In other words, they operate inside the machinery of organizations. This sounds efficient, and it is, but it changes where decisions actually happen. In traditional organizations, decisions move through people. Someone reviews, someone approves, someone is accountable. Even when software is involved, humans sit in the loop. AI agents weaken that loop, not maliciously, but structurally. When an agent is authorized to act, the decision no longer happens at the moment of execution. It happens upstream, at the moment of configuration. Rules are set, permissions are granted, boundaries are defined, and from that point on, outcomes unfold automatically. That's the problem most people aren't ready for. We tend to think of risk in AI as bad answers, hallucinations, bias in outputs. But those risks assume a human is still deciding what to do next. AI agents collapse that gap. If a system can act based on its own reasoning, then the cost of a mistake isn't a wrong sentence. It's a wrong action. That matters most in environments where mistakes are expensive. Finance, healthcare, supply chains, government, enterprise operations, places where execution matters more than creativity. This is why some of the most serious conversations about AI right now aren't happening in consumer tech. They're happening in compliance teams, risk committees, security offices, procurement departments. Because the question they're asking isn't, can this model think? It's, who is responsible when it acts? This is where governance quietly enters the picture. Not governance as regulation, not governance as restriction, but governance as infrastructure. As AI agents spread, organizations are realizing something uncomfortable. You can't audit an action after it happens if the system executes instantly. You can't rely on intent if decisions are encoded in workflows. And you can't assign accountability easily when actions emerge from automated chains. So the only place control can live is before execution. In access rules, approval thresholds, system design, permission layers. This shifts power away from frontline decision makers and toward its system architects, policy designers, compliance frameworks, whoever defines the boundaries. In other words, the most powerful decisions are no longer made at the moment of choice. They're made at the moment of design. This is why governments and enterprises are starting to talk less about AI ethics and more about agent governance. Not because agents are dangerous by default, but because autonomy changes responsibility. Think about it this way. When a human makes a bad decision, we ask, who approved this? Who was informed? Who had authority? When an AI agent makes a bad decision, those questions move backward. Who configured it? Who allowed it access? Who defined its scope? And often, those answers are diffuse. This creates a new kind of organizational risk. Not visible, not dramatic, but systemic. It also creates a new kind of opportunity, because wherever power shifts, new roles emerge. As AI agents become normal, companies need agent auditors, workflow governors, Permission architects, AI risk officers, systems that log intent, not just outcomes. This is not science fiction. It's already happening quietly inside large organizations. The irony is that AI agents don't reduce bureaucracy. They formalize it. Human ambiguity gets replaced with explicit rules. Informal judgment becomes encoded logic. And once logic is encoded, it becomes hard to challenge. That's why this shift feels subtle, but permanent. Most people won't notice AI agents when they arrive. They won't announce themselves. They'll simply remove small frictions, approve faster, schedule automatically, execute consistently. Until one day, a decision feels like it was already made before anyone noticed. This is the deeper story behind AI agents. Not intelligence, not creativity, but execution without pause. And once execution accelerates, the only way to stay in control is to move authority upstream, into systems, into frameworks, into design. This connects to something larger. As work becomes more automated, power doesn't disappear. It relocates, from individuals to structures, from discretion to configuration, from moment-to-moment judgment to long-term design. That's why the age of AI agents isn't really about AI. It's about where decision-making now lives. The organizations that struggle won't be the ones with weak models. They'll be the ones who didn't rethink governance before autonomy arrived. And the ones that succeed won't feel fast. They'll feel boring, predictable, controlled. Because in a world where software can act, the most valuable capability isn't intelligence, it's restraint. That's the problem no one is fully ready for yet. And it's why the next phase of I won't be defined by how smart systems become, but by who designs the boundaries they operate within. In the age of AI agents, power doesn't sit with the machine. It sits with whoever decides what the machine is allowed to do. And most people won't realize that shift has happened until it already has.